Welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. If you are a sports bettor, this is the most important hour of your day because the number one sports consultant in America has brought his national radio show and podcast here to YouTube. So while you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe or download the podcast and listen on your schedule. And now, here is our host, the number one sports consultant in America, ready to make you money this week and every week, the Fat Jack.
Hello and welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, the Fat Jack. 2023 is here. The weekend is here. Last weekend of the National Football League. Basketball's in full swing. We're getting ready to heat that up. National championship game coming up on Monday. So many different ways to make money betting on sports. And if you're doing that, you've come to the right place because we're going to get you into profit, get you some free winners, talk about the year in review, the bowl season, all the things in sports and sports gambling that you will want to know that will help you make money in 2023. Let me bring in my co-host from Louisville, Kentucky, Mr. Brandon Rush. How are you, Brandon?
I am doing swell. 2023 off to a pretty decent start, but this weekend we got the last week of the regular season of the NFL, the national championship game on Monday, and basketball sprinkled in there as well. So it's a great time to be signed into the to the service.
Yeah, you ever been downtown Las Vegas? We have the Super Bowl coming up, and you go downtown to Las Vegas, and they have one on one of the overpasses too by the Aria now. But a guy standing there with a sign that says, "Pay me $20 to kick me in the balls." You know that guy?
I've seen that guy, and I've been tempted a couple times to just be like,
my daughter won't. She won't go to. She will not walk by it without doing it. If she has $22 in her pocket, she spends 20 and tips him too, gets a running start.
The $2 tip just makes it that much more insulting.
Up front. She tips it up front and says, "Here, I want you to have this ahead of time." The reason I bring that up, Brandon, is because the bowl season this year was a little bit like I was that guy. It's funny. You go through the whole year, and starting in January, we made money. January, February, March, April, May. Baseball made 50 games of profit. September was incredibly profitable. October, incredibly profitable. And I said on this show a couple of different times during that run of September, October, we were running off 3, 4, 5 games of profit every single week. I said, we've had a lot of great picks. There's a lot of dead money in the market, but we also gotten a little bit lucky. And that luck typically comes up, typically goes down. And I said at the time, there's going to be a time when we are going to not be getting as lucky. And that will either turn a great week into an average week into a losing week, or a losing week into a horrible week. And lo and behold, Kris Kringle came calling in December, and here came the backup quarterbacks.
Yep.
And here came the interceptions in interception in the end zone, and kickoffs return, and players going out in the first quarter. I mean, it's just the wrong side. Not every game that we lost, but a lot of games we had. We had the 3-time Player of the Year in the Conference USA that went up for Central Florida, ended up going down, or whoever he played, going down in the first or second series, and they end up losing. Probably should have won. A number of other backup quarterbacks that didn't start the game. Guys going out, fumbles. I mean, it all happens. Not a big deal. But when you're late in the year, it's like the perfect storm. You're late in the year. All these guys have been losing on their own for months. They sign up the first week of December, and all of a sudden, I am responsible for getting back all those bad decisions with a backup quarterback and -4 in the turnover category. All those type of things. So glad that's kind of wrapped up. Not just the Bulls, but by the way, NFL's still going well. We won again on Sunday with the NFL. NFL, I was in the top 50 of the Super Contest at the Las Vegas Hilton, or now the Westgate.
Yep.
Yeah, Superbook. Top 50 there, top 70 of the Circa Contest. So the NFL is going great. The college bowl games, when the games matter, going fine. You listen to our bowl edition of the show. Gave you TCU straight up. Gave you Georgia to win. Told you those two were going to play in the finals coming up on Monday. So if you listen to the show, a lot of good information going out. Still making a ton of money on the year, but it just makes the holidays a little bit more irritating when you have games that don't matter and then players that don't play for whatever reason, or you just happen to be unlucky a little bit. So excited to turn the page to 2023. We have won money in January, 11 of the last 12 years and 26 the last 27. Last time I lost in January was about 13 years ago. We're off to a good start. We're winning again this month. Go to fatjacksports.com and get signed up. We're going to get you into profit. More importantly, the preseason rates are out. We're going to give away a free winner here, talk a little bit about what we wrapped up 2022 with. Then I'm going to give away those preseason prizes. Absolutely not even close. Best deal you can get the entire year. And more importantly, it will get you into you're going to make money in 2023 if you'll make one decision. Actually, you got to make more than that because you got to follow our system once you get in, follow the recommended betting guide. But if you can do that, which it's proven that not everybody can, I get, 1 out of every 500 people for some reason can't figure out what a selection or an opinion, when they're going to get the picks, what line movements mean. But everybody else get the selection. You're going to get the lowest rate possible. You're going to get all the seasons all year long. You can pay as little as $180 a month. Very inexpensive. This time of year, you're allowed to do things you're not going to be able to do later in the year simply because of time. So go to fatjacksports.com, look at those preseason early bird rates, and get signed up. Brandon, thoughts of the wrap-up of 2022, thoughts of your holidays, your Christmas. We could both go into how Southwest Airlines ruined Christmas for everybody. I will say, people, my version. Talk to me about how that all went for you. What's on your mind?
If Southwest rolled out a new plane this week that had the paint like the Grinch, everyone would be like, yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
You ruined everyone's Christmas. I mean, my Christmas was supposed to be a quick trip to Tulsa and ended up getting rerouted through Tampa the following day, a full 27 hours after I was supposed to get there. And it was going to have me into Tulsa about 11:30 on Christmas night. And that just wasn't going to work. So I hung out here and had some Chinese food and went to the casino and just watched everyone else have travel issues across the country. I know people that were stuck in Chicago for 6 days because they couldn't get connecting flights home.
Story after story. I just, there's
ridiculous.
No words.
So yeah, you add all that into the bowl season, which was
yeah, exactly. I'm A-list preferred with Southwest, as you can imagine, which is their like top tier level, all that kind of crap. They didn't care about that at all. They didn't care about any of it. They basically, and the disgusting thing about it, we're going to move on because Southwest over the last, since Herb Kellner, I think this guy's name who started that airlines, they've been incredible. I don't know how the CEO keeps his job. I hope he's listening to the show. He blamed all this, by the way. He blamed all of the problems with Southwest on these things that were happening to him and happening on the IT and happening with their back-end system. They did not happen to him. They happened because of him.
Right.
A huge difference. If you're in charge and you have the opportunity to reinvest in your infrastructure and reinvest in the things that failed you on Christmas Day for hundreds of thousands of people, it didn't happen to you. It happened because of you. You're in charge. Why? Paula Deen got basically blackballed for life for saying that she used the N-word, and I'm not horrible. Back in the 70s.
Right.
She didn't even say it. She just said she said it in the 70s. And everybody, she's done. No, that's it. I don't want to have any of her gravy. Throw her biscuits out the window. We're throwing them into the river. I don't care about any of that. This dude ruins Christmas. I hold him personally responsible. And the way they handled it was just insane. We got a flight in Oklahoma City that canceled. They said, all right, we'll give you on one in Dallas. If you can get down there. I rented a car. We drove to Dallas. Sat there. Delay. Midnight, we're in line. Our bags are on the plane. Now they cancel it at midnight. Everybody's timing out. Like they didn't know there was a timeout.
Right.
They're timing out. And then, we'll give us our bags back. We're going to go back to Oklahoma and we'll catch up on United tomorrow. No, you can't have your bags back. They're on the plane. 5 days later, I get my bags. We take a United flight 2 days. It's everybody's got a story. Believe me. I felt there were kids in we're going to move on to sports, but there were kids in Mickey Mouse ears that had been told that morning
that they were going to
Santa Claus brought you to a trip to Disney World to go meet Mickey Mouse. They get to the airport at 5 a.m. or whatever. It's midnight, and these people they can't put them onto the airline for like 6 days. These guys are supposed to come back in 4 days, and the kids are. I felt so. I wanted to literally rent a private plane, fly all of them down to Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is. If anything, this has prompted me to really look into getting my pilot's license.
Honestly, and thank God for the gifts I have and the blessings I have, because there are people there that my heart was breaking for. FatJackSports.com. If you're betting on the games, my heart breaks for you that you haven't been with us to this point. get signed up and start winning. Let's talk about the semifinal games in the bowls.
Yes.
What'd you think about that? Michigan, TCU, Ooh. Ohio State, Georgia. Great games, by the way.
It feels like it was for the first time ever that we had two great semifinal games. Rarely in the bowl system, or at least since we moved from the BCS into the playoffs, that if you get one of the two playoff games to be competitive, that would be the norm. To get two games that came down to the last possession was absolutely unbelievable. And the side-by-side video of like the ball dropping, counting down in Times Square, and then the kick going wide left, like almost simultaneously, that was scripted stuff. That was beautiful. But all in all, two great games, and I think it's going to make for a very entertaining championship game on Monday night.
Great, unless you're the kicker for Ohio State, which certainly wasn't his fault.
No.
There was it was like watching Titanic. I mean, it was just highs and lows and people drowning in the water when they should have got on the mattress. I mean, it's just so many different things going on. But the touchdown that wasn't a touchdown should have been a touchdown. All those things matter.
Yeah.
Incredibly close games. I had said in the TV show, the Beat the Odds, that my hypothesis was that the Big Ten was overrated. That because I said that, I think, here on the show, that because they had two teams in the Final Four that they probably didn't deserve. They didn't have any out-of-conference wins. Their best win was against Penn State other than each other, blah, blah, blah. I'm backtracking on that some because I don't know that – listen, we could talk about Alabama, K-State.
Sure.
K-State, their head coach lost his mind at halftime. Absolutely lost his mind. Onside, your team's in it. You have a gritty team that plays field position, wins time of possession. You come out and basically put the entire game on the line, the kickoff of the second half, when you're not down that much.
Yeah.
And by the way, we had Alabama. So no problem for me. I was like, okay, good. That's some good stuff happening. But if I'm a K-State player, fan, whatever, I'm like, what, Clem, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, why? I applaud taking the shot, but taking the shot there was not.
He didn't have to.
No.
You take that when I'd rather see a fake punt on their own 25. Or something like that. It's the same thing. You're giving the ball on their side of the 50, offense that was starting to click with, by the way, 2 years ago Heisman Trophy winner, a couple of first-round. You had all those. You can't do it there when you're in the game and your team has shown you that they're capable of being around. Quit being a bowl coach. These bowl coaches have lost their minds. I don't know what's going on with the bowl coaches. I mean, nobody's punting. Going for it on fourth down from the own 15. Onside kick when you don't have – if I'm a player, I'm like, dude, pull your head out. Help. Believe in me for 5 seconds.
Ted Lasso was telling you nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's been absolutely ridiculous. So you could look at Alabama and say they deserve to be in. I totally disagree. They lost 2 games, could have lost 2 more. You're out. Happens every year to a lot of teams. And I don't care if you have all the 5 stars. Win games you're supposed to if you want to be in the playoff. But I will tell you that the 2 Big Ten teams both put up good fight. Michigan was exactly what I thought they were. And the problem here now is I'm not sure what we're getting out of TCU.
Yeah.
It
depends on what do you weigh. Do you weigh the recency of seeing TCU put up 51, but obviously because of that was because of Michigan's defensive woes.
Pick sixes, turnovers, all
Georgia's
those type
much
of
better defensively than Michigan is, so you can't really expect that sort of same result.
But you're getting a ton of points. I mean, 2 touchdowns against a team that has done nothing but outperform the market. You listen to our show every week, they outperform the market every week. They do nothing but cover. They got a bunch of dogs that believe in themselves. They absolutely 100% believe they're going to win the national championship. They don't care. They don't care about Michigan. They don't care about Georgia. They don't care about the SEC. They don't care about any of it. Now, I'm not saying that's enough. I'm just saying they're not going to be overwhelmed by the situation. And Georgia, all of the pressure squarely on them. And so I think they're going to need some help to cover 13.5. I really do. I think TCU's in the game. Unless, and this is a big unless, because Georgia will take the ball away from you. And they will turn it into points. And they will do enough. But the athletic nature of TCU's front 4 on defense that causes fits for the running game, gets open guys running at the quarterback on a not-so-mobile quarterback for Georgia. I think they're going to give them some problems. Not saying they're going to win, but I do think it's competitive for a while unless there's turnover. So You want that information, go to fatjacksports.com and get signed up. What else struck you about the games we've had leading up to this point?
To be honest with you, we've seen a handful of blowouts in games. Iowa pitching a shutout defensively, granted against an undermanned Kentucky team. That was probably a nap-worthy game. But all in all, I mean, those semifinal games were so good that it really kind of overshadowed the rest of bowl season for me.
It's so frustrating with the picks because the elite plays, Brandon, the lower rated elite plays. Goodness. I mean, just it's. I know how to handicap. I've been doing this for 27 years. So if we get bad luck at a couple of games, and it feels like this is a broken record, but if I get bad luck at a couple of the top plays, chances are the elites are going to kill it because you're not going to get bad luck at all the games. And of course, they had Iowa under. I mean, those lower rated plays were 4-0 sweeper, like on Friday of New Year's weekend, or on New Year's Eve actually, and then we were like 6-2 over the course of the weekend, and won every single day: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, just so ridiculous. We talk about Iowa and those type of things, but the semifinals certainly were the poster, the icing on the cake for the weekend for sure. When we get back from the break, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to talk about the early bird price. Also, we'll get to the NFL, what happened the last week in the NFL, give away some free winners. We're going to give away at least one in the national championship game coming up on Monday between Georgia and TCU, along with a lot of other information that will get you into profit. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the first show of the new year, 2023. This is the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's 2023. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Now is the time to get signed up at FatJackSports.com. The best rates of the entire year. You can pay out the service fee up to over 10 months for as little as $180 a month to get all of the plays through the 2024 Super Bowl. That's all baseball, football, everything you need. Basketball added on. You can make money playing the games. Text yourself on or email to you. Go to FatJackSports.com. Sign up today.
Hey, it's Brandon Rush from the Fat Jack Sports Service. If you want to stay in touch with everything related to the Fat Jack, follow us on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. We are there at Fat Jack Sports. You can also watch the Fat Jack Sports Hour on YouTube every weekend. Plus, see funny clips from the show, see Jack's appearances on the nationally syndicated TV show Beat the Odds, and get primed for more profit every week with Bets and Breakfast, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. only on YouTube. Stay connected to the Fat Jack at Fat Jack Sports on all the socials and on YouTube. Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and now here is our host leading us into the final week of the NFL regular season. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you, Brandon, so much. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 2. New year. Last week of the NFL regular season. Excited about the new year. Excited about our preseason rates are up. This is such a great opportunity for guys out there. And a lot of guys, I'd say 35% of all the clients take advantage of this deal. It's the lowest rates by far the entire year. It gets you all of the selections all the way through the 2024 Super Bowl. Your service fee is paid off by the time you get to football season. And it's an incredibly good deal that will turn you into a winning gambler. It's the one time. If you sign up today for the weekend, I cannot guarantee that you're going to make money this weekend. Now, we make money 4 out of every 5 weeks on average.
Mm-hmm.
So you're most likely going to make money. But if you sign up now for the early bird special, I can guarantee you're going to make money. Guarantee, especially if you play the baseball for free and go through the year like we say, you're going to make money. Lowest rates of the year, $1,799, gets you everything: football, not basketball or UFC, but football, horse racing, the entire baseball season for free. That's not going to continue. We're charging for baseball when it gets to baseball season, so if you want it free, you get signed up now. All the way through the 2024 Super Bowl, so 13 months basically of selections for $1,700. What is that? I mean, it's $100 a month?
It's like $125 a month.
A month, people. $125 a month is what you're paying to make money betting on sports. When if you wait till September, it's $4.99 a month. Come on. This is the best deal. Even if you're on a package right now that runs through this year's Super Bowl, you need to take advantage of this deal. This price will go up between now and this year's Super Bowl. And more importantly, the amount of months you can pay it out. That's the other caveat to this. So $17.99, all the football through the Super Bowl, with free baseball, with horse racing, with golf for free. There's going to be more golf coming up. Or you can get football and basketball $28.99, I think, $28.99. It's on the website. Everything through football, that's all of it. Football, basketball, everything through the 2024 Super Bowl. Here's the key, though. If you need to pay it out, you're like, Jack, I don't have all that money right now. Just had Christmas, just had New Year. I'm not getting an infusion from the government because of COVID. None of that's happening right now. So how am I going to pay for that? Okay, you can pay it out. $400 right now. And then starting in February, $180 a month for 10 months. So basically, February, March, April, May, through November, 10 months of $180. You pay a little bit more for paying it out, but you cause me extra work for paying it out. So that's why. And you're getting the baseball season for free. You wait until baseball season, it's going to cost you $2,000 just for baseball. At least $1,500. I hadn't decided yet. Good angel, bad angel going. Neither of those angels are saying give it away for free. All right, the good angel said, hey, charge us $1,500. It's great. The bad angel saying you make 55 to 70 games a year of profit. Charge what you do for football.
The season's 9 months long, too. So
it's 9 months long. It's going to make you a ton of money. You make what you do in football for the baseball over the last 4 years. Charge the same. That's what the bad angel's saying. There's no angel unless he's so far on crack and meth that he's passed out that's saying, hey, Jack, just give it to him for nothing. 55, that's fun. No. That's not an angel. That's a crack addict. I'm not listening to him at all. So it's either good angel, bad angel, totally up to you. All right. But right now it's free because I'm listening to the crack. I guess I'm listening to the crack addict, right? You sign up right now, you don't pay for it. $400 down, $180 a month for 10 months. You're done. All the way through the 2024 Super Bowl. Same thing with basketball. Football, basketball, everything, $2,900, or you can pay $500 now, and I think it's like $249 a month. They get you pay about $400 more to pay it out, but you're getting by far the best rate of the year. You're getting all the plays through the 2024 Super Bowl. You're going to turn into a winning sports gambler if you'll do that. And that price is only going to go up as we go between now and basically July. Then it drops off a little bit because the baseball's a little less, and then it goes right back up, and the highest rates you can pay are to sign up in September. Don't do that. You have an opportunity right now. Again, even if you're on a package that runs through the Super Bowl, get this deal. It will save you a ton of money. Go to fatjacksports.com and start winning today. NFL, Brandon, I had reached the top 50 in the Westgate Superbook contest.
Yep.
I was in fourth or fifth they have little mini contests. They have week 10 through 18, 13 through. I was in like fourth place in one of the smaller ones. I'd gone 4-1, 4-1, 4. This last week, we won on Sunday, but most of my selections were totals. They don't allow totals in this contest, so it's all sides.
It's favored or underdog. Yeah,
and these last 2 weeks are tougher when you talk about. Now this Sunday we're gonna make a ton of money again.
Yep.
But we're not going to have a ton of sides. You'll see what we did last week. Cleveland, which was an easy winner, and then the other selections were Philly under was a winner, Chicago under was a winner, and Denver under, which was a loser, should have been a winner. In the contest, I lost, and so now I'm out of the top 50. I still have, I think, an outsider shot to definitely cash. There's like 8,000 people in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always in the top couple hundred. I could literally, there's not a year that I'm not going to be in the top couple hundred, but because they give these mini contests, you got to get in like the top 30, I think, top 20. So I need a 5-0 week, 5-0 sweeper coming up. Let's talk about the NFL from a game. Why is my face so oily today? What is going on?
It's the humidity down in Florida, I guess. That's just got you a little more. It's got
to be the lighting. I have a content meeting coming up, and they are all so vain about that stuff. They know, they know how each other look. They know what they wear. I'm going to have to figure that out. I need some powder. Look at that. It's ridiculous. You're watching on the YouTube. Is YouTube?
YouTube. You can watch the show on YouTube starting generally Thursday or Friday of every week.
I would watch. I don't know how to watch it this week. Look at that. I am literally a walking ad for T-zone issues and all that kind of stuff. So this way we talk. As a matter of fact, I had the head of Gray Media just call me and ask me a stupid question. No offense, love him, but because his buddy wants to put $5,000 on Miami this week.
Okay.
Because they're playing the Jets, Miami has everything to play for. The Jets are not playing. They're out of the playoffs now. And the Jets are looking, in his words, his buddy believes that they are worried about draft status. So they want to get the best draft. So if they lose, it helps their draft status. He's dug down with the organizations into what good and what bad happens if each team win or loses. And I think, Brandon, that's an example of what a lot of the general public does this time of year.
Absolutely. You
That's
start
a
to look at,
horrible idea.
yeah, you start to think that is something that's going to equate into the brains of the 53 dudes on the field. They don't
Who, by
care.
the way, are playing for a job.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You don't, your job is not guaranteed in the NFL. You don't care if you're under contract or not. You can be cut.
Especially when you suck.
Exactly. So if you go out there and lay an egg and it's on tape and all 32 teams can see it, and they think that you might just be quote unquote tanking so you can get a better draft spot or something, no, that doesn't fly in the NFL.
It's the dumbest theory in the world. Now, NBA, different league. You'll have guys jacking it up for three that might not should because they know they're out and they're down, blah, blah. Totally different. In football, in the NFL, the turnover is such a thing. Guys, if you hear somebody say this organization has something to play for, that one doesn't, stop them right there and say, hey, you're a moron. All right? I don't care if you're Buffalo Wild Wings or not. Tell them you're a moron. Say you don't know what you're talking about. Because not only all the players, Brandon, we had this come up with the head coach with the Dolphins actually a couple years ago.
Right, Brian Flores, got fired, and then pretty much said, "Hey, by the way, the owners was like, hey, go ahead and tank a little bit, so we can, I'll pay you extra to lose."
That's right. I'll pay you extra when you lose. We'll keep your job. You'll have more job security. I need you to lose so we can get better players. It blew up the entire league. Huge fines. That's not a thing. Owners don't come to their coaches and say tank unless you're a 90-year-old idiot from South Florida who thinks he's entitled enough to go ask grown men that their entire life have built their lives around winning to lose.
Although I think Daniel Snyder would, because that dude is just trash.
You know what? That's why he's on his way out of the league too.
Right.
Very, very difficult to get anybody. And by the way, even if you got the coach to do it, you can't control players. So unless he's going to sit your star, it's not a thing. Teams are not tanking in the NFL. Now, are they going to win? Are the Jets going to beat the Dolphins? I don't know. They probably won't. But they are. You're going to get 100. Here's what I know: you're going to get 100% effort. You're going to get coaches and players that are trying to win, and it doesn't matter that they have nothing to play for. And what this does, especially with all the new money coming into sports gambling, it generates value with the underdog because a lot of guys are like my TV bosses of Buddy, who are going to put thousands of dollars on the teams this week who have something to play for over teams that don't have anything to play for. In the sharp world, the guys that I know, it's common knowledge last week and this week that if you teams with nothing to play for, there's always a lot of value. And so go ahead.
I was going to say, because there's people that are just backing up the truck to put bets on teams that they think against teams that they think don't have anything to play for. All that you're doing there is just moving the line in the direction to where it should be.
Yeah, and it's because people have basically have got an argument that makes sense in their mind.
Sure.
And that's great if it made sense from a practical on the field standpoint, which it does not. So that does not work. So teams like that, be very, very careful on who you decide to bet on based on what their motivation would be. Motivation is not a thing in the NFL, and it's certainly not a thing right now when a lot of the general public believes it should be. So if you don't want to worry about that, go to fatjacksports.com, get signed up on the website, and then you don't have to worry about it. So we through all that, we're going to get you on the right side. We almost always make money this week, and then the playoffs, we literally always make money, always. So go do that and get signed up. Brandon, what in the NFL do you like this week?
It's an interesting week just because there is still so much unknown in terms of seeding for the playoffs. Philly still has a shot at the 1 seed. Dallas has a shot at the 1 seed. So there's going to be some scoreboard watching going on there. Can the Packers back their way into the playoffs? I mean, this is some intriguing stuff. It is as much of the intrigue is going into the playoffs on the NFC side. I think the AFC playoffs have a chance to be one of the better halves of a tournament that we've seen in the NFL, maybe in 20 years.
NFL's undefeated.
It really is.
That league, I mean, they are just next level good. I mean, as far as they keep things relevant late in the year.
Yep.
We're still playing for stuff, even though you have teams that have separate. We've been playing forever. Since week 18, gosh. I mean, come on. Yet we still don't know most of what we need to know. Now, they've gotten a little bit lucky for that this year. Normally, you know the 1 seed by now.
Right.
But we got, Jalen Hurts got hurt. There's been some injuries. There's a lot of all those type of things. But we don't know what the playoffs look like And there will be some watching, but it's all going to be based. Nobody's going to let up when they find out and I heard that a lot this last week. Well, there's the teams that if they lose in the early time slot, then they'll have less to play for in the late one.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to create value for guys that know what they're doing. So, but sure, the NFL is just next level good.
And yet again, they when they instituted the Week 18, they go into the 17 game schedule, that a lot of people were like, oh, is this really a good thing? Is this the NFL's been cashing checks, and everyone's intrigued this weekend because now we just have an added layer of intrigue going into the games because of we don't know. And it's going to be crazy because we'll be at probably 3:00 Eastern, and it'll be a situation where if these games finish the way they are right now, this is the playoff bracket. We're going to look at 4:15 when those early games are done, and it'll be completely turned on its head.
The NFL is undefeated. It's not even close. I mean, they are literally undefeated. So which of these games you want to look at? Let's try to break one of these down. Give the people a free winner before we head into break here and see if we can't make a little free money for people. Free plays this year, by the way, have been very, very good. Not only on the air, but on the social network sites and all the different things going on. Which of these games jumps out at you?
I mean, Green Bay, Detroit, you got a teams that really probably were dead by most people's accounts in early October. Now, right on the outside looking in of a playoff spot, Aaron Rodgers really kind of turned that season around with a bunch of no-name receivers. And now they have a chance at home to beat a divisional opponent and get into the playoffs.
And what's been the most amazing thing about that is that their defense all of a sudden decided to start playing. I mean, Green Bay's and that's where this game's going to be decided. You're going to get very good play out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
But this Detroit team, by the way, after their great bump they got with the the show, the HBO show, Hard Knocks stuff preseason, then they go out and drop off a 1-5 to start the year. Well, look, lo and behold, this game is back. This team is back. Detroit 8-1 against the spread their last 9
with the league's worst defense. That's what's even more amazing.
Worst defense, still getting it done. They are basically outscoring everybody and getting just enough stops. Detroit's also 9-2 against the spread their last 11 when they play Green Bay.
Wow.
So not only good against everybody right now, they're good when they play Green Bay every year. What's funny, though, is that Green Bay, we talk about value. And Green Bay 4-1 against the spread their last 5. So, as everybody knows, they're coming on. Everybody knows what Aaron Rodgers is doing. But Green Bay almost always beats Detroit. We talk about value in the NFL. Green Bay 22-3 straight up against Detroit their last 25 when they play them at home. So when they go to Lambeau, Detroit almost always doesn't win, but covers. And so that's kind of a general lesson toward betting these games, is that in spots like this, you're never going to get value betting on Aaron Rodgers.
No.
But it doesn't mean Aaron Rodgers is going to lose. So, and I think the probably similar thing happens here. You're up over the key numbers of 3, key numbers of 4. Detroit, the back door's always open with them. And I just don't know how long this Packer defense, which I think is the key here, how long this Packer defense is going to continue being the Packer defense that we've seen over the last month and a half or so, and keep playing so well, getting enough stop. Takeaways have been stupid strong. This Green Bay Packer defense is getting interceptions. They're getting all the 50-50 balls. And that's not typically going to continue. Now, do I love playing Detroit, the worst team outside at Lambeau, when the Packers need to win? No, I don't. But if you're going to bet the game, Detroit's the right side because of the value. Look for Green Bay to get the win and Detroit to get the money. That is your first free win of the day. If you want to hedge that a little bit, go over the 48.5, but I wouldn't. Because I do think Green Bay is good. This Detroit defense, we know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Green Bay is going to get into the 30s. I just don't see any way they don't. Other than I do think that their head coach has neutered Aaron Rodgers pretty much since he got there.
Yeah. And add into that, those receivers, while they were young to start the year, they got a year under their belt, so to speak. They aren't capable, I think, of really unleashing everything that offense can be with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
and they underperform. I mean, that's the thing. They just typically don't get it done. The receivers they did early in the year, but now they're not feeling the pressure, and you could tell they are better. And a couple of them have become very, very key to him. But with the head coach and his conservative nature, they become, I shouldn't even say conservative, predictable nature. He's much more predictable on early downs. The great thing about Aaron Rodgers, and that's the exception of late in the game, they still run play action and put it in Rodgers' hand. But early in the game, first half or whatever, it's way too predictable. It used to be play action on first down, short passing, get it in second short, that type of action. Now they run it. They try to run. They haven't been great at running the ball. So they're behind the sticks, and then it's can Aaron Rodgers bail us out? He's been able to do that, and the takeaways have gotten more possessions, and the receivers come along. There's no secret why Green Bay's playing much better. But I do think – so if you want to hedge it, you go over, because I think they're getting the 30s easy. I do think Detroit, though, is going to have some success offensively. So I could see this thing being, 31-28 type game, with the 38-21 or 31-21, and then a backdoor with 2 minutes to go, try the onside, kneel down, and everybody's upset that, Detroit got the money, but Green Bay got the win. So Detroit plus the points, that's your first free win of the day. 800-298, don't call the number, go to fatjacksports.com, get signed up there. Easiest way, go to fatjacksports.com. You can get the weekend package, it'll get you everything through Monday's national championship game, which we're going to talk about after the break, or better deal, go get sign up for the year. Early bird prices are ready to go. Go to the 23-24 football or combo packages. You can pay off the service fee as little $100 at $180 a month, or under $250 a month for football and basketball included. Look at the elite package if you're interested in that. I never say that. Those are lower rated plays. Everybody gets exactly the same top plays, but those lower rated plays are absolutely killing it again this year. Killing it. Only for players who play over $300 or $400 a game. Only for players that like a lot of volatility, a lot of volume, or are going to bet on your own stuff. Go to the package page, scroll all the way to the bottom to read about the elite package. But don't miss out on this year's winners. We're going to have a great, great year. You can get them all right now at fatjacksports.com. How are we doing on time, Brandon?
Let's go ahead and squeeze in a break, because I feel like Monday night's national championship game deserves a good bit of attention. So we need to block out some time to talk about it.
Definitely going to take some time for that. In the meantime, Brandon, new pizza place in Oklahoma City.
Oh, boy.
Been going about 2 months now. 2 months, I think. Daddo's Pizza. 10942 North May Avenue. So basically North May between 122nd and Hefner. Almost to Hefner. All right. In the where the bagel place is on the east side in the shopping center, Daddo's Pizza. This is basically New York style pizza, New York water. They have changed the molecules of the water. They're not the first person ever to do this. I don't want to give them, credit for making up something. This has been done before, but I will tell you, it absolutely. If you ever go to New York City, got pizza up there and said, "Gosh, why is this so good?" It's because of the way the New York water is, or the makeup of the water changes. It makes the dough more flaky, more crispy, but then also have a chewy texture that everybody loves from New York style pizza. They're doing that in Oklahoma City at Daddo's Pizza on North May, just north of Hefner on the east side of that shopping center. Go by and see them. Tell them the Fat Jack sent you, or go give them a call, 405-367-8707. 405-367-8707. They're open every single day except Monday. Go by and see them and get you some New York-style pizza. We're having to retrain people in the metro. Pies are good. Overall, pizzas are good. But this is a by-the-slice place. That's the best way to do it. Go in, get you a by-the-slice, fire it in the oven, get it out, and go eat it. It's some of the best pizza in Oklahoma City, for sure. Daddo's Pizza on North May. Tell them the Fat Jack sent you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, come right back, talk about the national championship game, get you signed up to win in 2023, and much, much more. You're listening to Fat Jack Sports Hour.
Hey, it's Brandon Rush from the Fat Jack Sports Service. If you want to stay in touch with everything related to the Fat Jack, follow us on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. We are there at Fat Jack Sports. You can also watch the Fat Jack Sports Hour on YouTube every weekend. Plus, see funny clips from the show, see Jack's appearances on the nationally syndicated TV show Beat the Odds, and get primed for more profit every week with Bets and Breakfast, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. only on YouTube. Stay connected to the Fat Jack at Fat Jack Sports on all the socials and on YouTube.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's 2023. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Now is the time to get signed up at fatjacksports.com. The best rates of the entire year. You can pay out the service fee up to over 10 months for as little as $180 a month to get all of the plays through the 2024 Super Bowl. That's all baseball, football, everything you need. Basketball added on. You can make money playing the games. Text your cell phone or email to you. Go to fatjacksports.com. Sign up today.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Now, for the final time this week, here is our host getting us ready for Monday night's national championship game. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports. Our segment number 3, getting you ready to make some money in 2023 betting on sports. Go to fatjacksports.com, get signed up. The season packages are up and ready to go. Everybody is going to make money if you sign up right now for the season. It just simply is. So go get signed up, and you are going to make money. For the lowest rate of the year, the early bird prices are up and ready. Brandon, national championship game coming up on Monday. What are your thoughts?
I get a certain satisfaction anytime that there is an underdog against sort of the Goliath, and in this case, a defending national champion versus a team that was picked to finish 7th in their conference this year. I also get a weird 6 satisfaction out of games when after the game, the teams have the same record. TCU comes in 13-1, Georgia 14-0. Not going to get that this year because of the discrepancy of the games, but you might if TCU wins. They both be 14-1. So, if anything, I like synergy. I like things to be even. I like them to be lined up. So TCU plus all those points. It's hard to step away from, even if you're not being like weird, nerdy, neurotic like that. But on the field, after seeing what TCU did to Michigan, and seeing how vulnerable that Georgia offense, our defense was, gives me a lot of hope that maybe the Horned Frogs can pull this thing off.
Yeah, I mean, it really is one of those, you can go to kind of how you view life with this game. I mean, are you more comfortable playing the chalk, playing the better team, and saying, you know what, I don't really care what the points are. I want the better team. I feel better betting on them. Or are you okay? Are you that David versus Goliath mentality where you understand what a line is, and you're like, you know what, 14, that's a lot of points. 13.5, 14 points. That's I can see some value there, and I want to root for that team. Georgia's 7-7 against the spread this season. This season, when they laid 13.5 points or more, they're 6-6. This season, 6 of the Georgia's 14 games have gone with over a total a point spread of 14. So, I guess my point is that Vegas knows exactly where Georgia is as it relates to the line.
Okay.
The variable is TCU, and it's what is the general public. And I would say that is a reflection on what the general public believes. Most people in the country who are going to be betting on this game have not watched more than one full game of TCU all year long.
And that one game was the semifinal against Michigan.
Exactly. And before that, they had watched 0. Because nobody, unless you went to TCU, or certainly if you're a Big 12 fan, you're not tuning in to TCU. So you don't even know what you're betting against. And more importantly, betting on, if you decide to bet them, which is not going to happen most of the time. People are going to play the chalk here, even though it's 2 touchdowns. And you'll have people say, well, 2 touchdowns, that means that Vegas thinks they're going to blow them out. All that's true. But I don't think Vegas knows exactly where this TCU team stacks up when they play a team like Georgia, who, let me just play some devil's advocate. As a general rule, they don't score a ton of points.
Right.
They go out and they understand their defense is better than everybody. They are going to hold you down defensively, and they're going to make you make mistakes. They're going to win field position, and they're going to eventually draw off. They've done that so many times this year. We saw them against Missouri, struggling in the first half. We saw them against a couple other teams that at halftime they look up and they weren't drawing off, but they knew eventually they would get there and they would open it up a little bit.
They would suffocate them on defense and then take the chances and put them away when they had the chance on offense.
TCU has been in a number of games with Max Duggan under center where they just simply outscore you. They are very athletic defensively, but they're also not the most disciplined team in the world. But if you're running offense that won't take advantage of that, then it doesn't really matter. All right, listen, I'm not here to tell you TCU is going to win. All right, and if they do win, I'm not going to come back and say, I told you that TCU was going to win.
Right.
I'm not here calling the upset. I am saying there's a ton of reasons to think that TCU is in this game the entire time. And if they're in it and it gets visualize the fourth quarter of this thing, 3, 4, 5 minutes left, if it's a touchdown game, then all of the pressure is squarely on Georgia.
Yeah.
All of any insecurity that TCU had going into it is gone. And this is a TCU team that believes that they should close the deal out here because this team is full of a bunch of dogs that weren't even on this team last year. 8 transfers on the defensive side of the ball from last year through the transfer portal.
Wow.
These kids didn't even know each other in spring ball. They didn't know each other's names. But now they believe. And there's something to that. And they're not void of talent.
No.
This is not an average team. This is a very good team playing in a very balanced conference that has done nothing but outperform the market all year. I don't know how we can sit here and say with any level of certainty that we know that they're not going to outperform the market here when they're playing the most popular favorite. What is it, David or Goliath? Who's the big one? Goliath, right?
Goliath, right.
The most popular Goliath in the league. Defending national champs, blue blood, SEC, all those things. So the values with TCU. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
This is it kind of feels like a couple years ago in the national championship game for basketball where you had Butler against Duke. You had the plucky upstarts against the blue bloods, and it came down to literally the final possession and a Gordon Hayward half-court heave falling off the back iron that would have won Butler a national championship. We haven't seen anything like this in college football in I don't know how long. Like, who was the last national champion? Granted, they're in a Power 5 conference, but who was the last national champion to start outside the top 25? I can't even think of who it would be.
Yeah, I'm not trivial.
Call out college football.
Call L. Beck or go down to Buffalo Wild Wings. They'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, Al knows for sure. But my point is, though, that like this type of story doesn't happen in college football just because of the way things had always been set up. It always favored the blue bloods. It always just squashed the little guy. TCU went undefeated in 2012, did not get a title shot because they played in the Mountain West. I feel like this is a new day in college football with the transfer portal, with NIL, all these things that are going against sort of the way things have always been. This is a new day for college football. I really like TCU. Plus the points. I think they have a damn good shot to win this game.
I think we'll bet them. Here's the deal. I think that it's definitely a game that if Georgia wins by 3 or 4 touchdowns, nobody's going to be totally surprised. But TCU's been in exactly this spot so many times this year. Total 62.5. What are your thoughts on the total, Brandon? Lots of points, fewer points. Where do you think this is going?
If TCU is to win, I think it goes over. I think if it's a 31-30 type game, I mean, and that doesn't get us there. But we've seen TCU put points up. We've seen Georgia give up points. I think it's close to the total, but I'm more confident in TCU plus the points than I am the over.
Yeah, I think that's fair because if Georgia, you could have egg all over your face at 35-7,
right?
Type game. You know what I mean? I mean, if Georgia shows up and they are, or for any reason TCU looks in the mirror and says, "What are we doing?"
They realize they took the really hot girl to prom, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Exactly. She's gonna find the homecoming king. I'm in so much trouble. Oh, no, it's 35-7. Yeah, no, you don't want to get involved in that. But you're right. I mean, I think they need to take Georgia out of their comfort zone, and that would be done by scoring a bunch of points. TCU this year 8-6 to the over, so about 50% of the time, a little less than 50% of the time, they go over the total. Georgia under that for sure. They definitely do not give up enough points to get games over. They show up and just stifle teams defensively a lot of times. So I'm with you, Brett. I wouldn't bet the total right now. Now talk to me. And by the way, they're 6-8 on the year to the over. So 6 over is 8 under. So 57% to the under. I wouldn't bet that. I would not bet the total right now, but I may figure out an angle. And by the way, when you sign up at FatJackSports.com, if you sign up through even Monday, you're going to get at least a prop bet or two, maybe 5, up to 5. You're going to get first half information. Also, you're going to get a little description of the game. So it's more this week than just the game. And I should mention, Brandon, I don't know how we're doing on time, but I should mention that I have not lost a national championship game or a Super Bowl or an NBA Finals. I haven't lost those things, including the World Series, in about 5 years.
Right.
I mean, every single one I've hit. I mean, in all these final games. So we typically dial down to make a lot of money on Monday night, and I don't see any reason why that's going to change this week. The season packages are out, guys. Go to fatjacksports.com. How are we doing on time?
We need to get out of here.
All right. Get that season early bird special, guys. If you want to make money, it's the best offer I do all year. Hopefully you can hear it in my voice. I'm pleading you, if you want to make money and not give me a headache, go get that package right now. You're going to make money. Get signed up today at fatjacksports.com. For Brandon and the Fat Jack, guys, welcome to 2023. Glad you made it through New Year's. Have a great weekend, a great January. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Wager responsibly. Until next week, for the Brandon Rush, this has been the Fat Jack and the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's 2023. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Now is the time to get signed up at fatjacksports.com. The best rates of the entire year. You can pay out the service fee up to over 10 months for as little as $180 a month to get all of the plays through the 2024 Super Bowl. That's all baseball, football, everything you need. Basketball added on. You can make money playing the games. Text yourself on or email to you. Go to fatjacksports.com. Sign up today.
Hey, it's Brandon Rush from the Fat Jack Sports Service. If you want to stay in touch with everything related to the Fat Jack, follow us on all the socials. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. We are there at Fat Jack Sports. You can also watch the Fat Jack Sports Hour on YouTube every weekend. Plus, see funny clips from the show, see Jack's appearances on the nationally syndicated TV show Beat the Odds, and get primed for more profit every week with Bets and Breakfast, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. only on YouTube. Stay connected to the Fat Jack at Fat Jack Sports on all the socials and on YouTube.